Hello and welcome to the Yoga in Black podcast, where I have conversations with Black yoga and wellness leaders from across the country. My name is Tierney McDowell, and I too am a yoga instructor and the creator and host of this show. Each week, I'm joined by Black yoga instructors, meditation instructors, or holistic wellness professionals to have a conversation about anything under the sun and the moon. We'll talk about a large variety of topics with the intention for you as listeners to get to know us, get a feel for the vibes, and find your next yoga instructor if you're in search of someone to learn from. All episodes of the podcast are pre recorded, so if we talk about something that happened a while ago, bear with us. We're doing the best we can with the time that we got. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Yoga in Black podcast. My name is Tierney McDowell, and I have the pleasure of being in the audience with Dulani.
Roll with it. Keep going.
Dulani.
Keep going. It's not the worst I've heard. You're fine. I've heard it butchered and chopped up way worse.
If
Don't
I
worry.
had $1 for every different way that someone pronounced Tierney, I wouldn't even be working. Like I
I'd be
would
on a
only
yacht
be doing
somewhere.
this. Yeah. Like Bill Gates, Elon Musk ain't got shit on me.
There was a meme, and it said, "This is to all the kids who had deep sighs before the teacher called their name in the beginning of the school year."
Because you
And
always
I
knew, right?
said,
When they got to you,
"Yeah,
regardless if it was alphabetical order or not,
oh,
they'd just be a pause and a long stare at the paper. And like, tyranny. Oh, say that again. Tyranny. Terena? Tyranny. It's not that hard. But anyway, hi.
good. Hello, yoga and black community. Welcome.
Thank you
Honor and
so
pleasure to be
much.
here."
I'm so glad that you've got time today to do this because, like we had just, we had a little pre chat, but I've been watching your progress over the last couple of years and you were just out here being amazing. So I am super excited for folks to get to know a little bit more about you if they don't know you already. So, with all that said, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So I am a. It's going to be a lot of slashes, so I hope y'all ready for this. I am a first an educator, so I'm an athletic coordinator, football coach, track coach. I run a yoga business as well as a clothing line, but I'm also a contributor to Flow in Nature out in Oak Cliff, where we do community flows, and I'm very active in my church. So my free time is limited, but when I do, I like to, spread my story to those, hopefully inspire and encourage to get out their own way and live their life.
That's what's up. And the flow in nature thing is so awesome. You guys are doing some really amazing things. Like every post that I see, the groups just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's just the most inspiring thing to witness. Like, hats off to y'all. Cause like, uh, y'all doing the shit and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm still working on talking with the founder of that. But could you tell me a little bit more about flow in nature and what it's all about?
So the founder is really the is Kay, and she's the owner of Cosmic Tea.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually a certified yoga instructor,
Yeah.
but she said she didn't want to teach. She wanted others to teach, so she reached out and basically we had a tryout. We had to interview and we had to try out, and we were we're going through a transition right now, so I got some notes for that as well. But I got some notes from my director, so let me make sure I do so. Flow in Nature is a community based organization. We bring together any and everybody at any level to learn and practice flowing, growing our tangible because yes, we are teaching postures, but we're also teaching the yoga philosophy. That was what the spiel she told me to say to y'all.
That's beautiful. And
Yeah.
that's very true. Like all of this is so much more than the postures.
Well, and one thing that I'm getting Like when I get to my time, my date to Fluent Nature, it's somewhat like a reunion because I work so much and I commute to get down there and I don't get to spend as much time as I would like to. That's why I can't wait for our community event next weekend. But hearing somebody saying, "Oh, I saw you were teaching it," and I had to get up to be there, it's like you woke up early for me. Like
It's a little bit too. You got me feeling
it's a thug
special.
tier. It's like
Dang.
one big thick thug tier, and I just swipe it away like, "Thank you."
Touches the heart.
You get
Touches
me?
the heart. Right in the
Yeah.
heart.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. It's inspiring to see people who want to who want to seek help and who want to be a part of the practice. And it's a great opportunity. It's been a great opportunity for me. Um, it's a great opportunity to work with them, but it's also a great opportunity just to be out in nature. Like we're literally in nature. Sticker bugs, flies, mosquitoes, the sun beaming. You may hear some bachata music playing, mariachi music playing on one side, but we out there breathing, flowing, and growing, and doing the dang thing.
That's so awesome. I'm glad you're a part of that. That is such a beautiful thing. Man, I like hats off to y'all. I've been meaning to get out there, but I was teaching on Sundays at the same time for so long. I haven't had a chance to get down there yet. Now that my Sundays are finally open, now I'm like, okay, stop sleeping in so much, go practice.
We got a space for you, boo. Don't worry. We got a space for you.
Yes, I gotta make it. I gotta make it for sure.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about your journey into yoga, because you mentioned that not only are you an educator, but you're also an athlete, and I know that's all like an athlete to yoga pipeline is pretty short. So tell me all about that.
So I had a and he's a legend. He's a legend to this day. He's still coaching. He's in the coaching Hall of Fame, and he's alive. That's how great of a coach he is. So James Hilliard out of Langston University was my track coach, and he's created numerous All-Americans. I wasn't one of them, but his coaching techniques I borrowed to my own. Uh, I was a shot put and discus thrower at the time, and he was saying, "Hey, you could be so much better." I just came off a bicep tear injury, so I'm getting used to that and just trying to get my flow back. And he was like, "Hey, I love you, son, but I need you to try something different." And I stretched a lot either way, but I never really thought of yoga as a way to practice or to do something because, of course, the images they show aren't conducive to. Well, I'm not gonna listen. They not. You see this? This is all bronze and like I can't. My body don't move like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I perceived it wasn't what it is currently, and so he gave me a VHS tape. VHS tape for those that don't know it's like they don't even know what cassettes are. It's an overgrown cassette tape, and you have to wind it up if it's out of whack, and you shove it into the slot, press play, and then it plays a now um, low dimensional figure, but you watch it. So I did I did yoga on VHS for about 2 weeks, felt the difference, and I did it throughout the season. But when I graduate, life happens. You're trying to find a job, you're trying to find your way. And then once I got settled, I was part of a gym, and I was like, you know what, I need to start doing yoga again. And I picked it back up, but again, it falls off. It came on up until the pandemic is when I really got into a practice. You're in the house for all day, every day, looking at the same four walls. This room right here, I call it my studio, is where I really gave my passion. I found my passion to teach because I got a TV screen here. I Bluetooth it from my iPad or my phone. Nike Plus had a deal where you could get yoga classes or their premium for whatever. And I feel like, okay, Nike, they're about athletes. Um, I can make that work. I can listen to them. I can't listen to somebody else, but I can listen to somebody who's speaking the same language I'm speaking. So I did that for a month. And after like 2 weeks, I got bored. I was like, I already know what these are. Like, I already know, and it's working the same muscle. What if I want to work my back? Or what if I want to help this out? So
I want a
I
little
started,
variety.
I started self-teaching, and I got to the point where I was like, if this is doing this for me, imagine what it can do for young athletes. So I got into it for my athletes, and now I'm helping grown-ups, which is kind of hard to believe because I got into teaching to help kids. I love kids. I've been in the kid business forever. I said the reason I teach kids is because they don't know any better. Adults know better and still choose to act accordingly. Kids, you can help. Adults, luckily, I know the 8 limbs, so I can. Whew, just
Yeah, requires a special amount of patience.
yeah. But so I was like, you know what? Let me get certified. I looked at a program, and it was for teachers by teachers. Breathe for Change. I love them to death because not only did they make me feel welcome, but they taught me. I had a uh, mentor Alicia. She gonna get a shout out because I'm gonna send this to her when it comes out. She was said she literally taught me just like this, baby. You are one of very, 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 very few. Be you. You don't need to change nothing. You don't need to fit no different mold. Who you are is good enough, and wherever you show up, you're gonna take up space in the most purposeful and positive way. And once she told me that, that was the battery in the back I needed. I said I always had dreams of having something I can give back to. So my yoga journey literally sprouted into so many different ways now to where I'm making a lane or I'm doing stuff that I only imagined about. And it's crazy to think that one idea, one thought can flourish into many different things. I got hit up about to get in a magazine in Atlanta as an Atlanta-based yoga magazine. Literally last January, actually last year, it came out last January, but I got hit up about November just by doing yoga challenges. And I like, and it's funny because it's like, you scroll through Instagram, like, huh, so, yo, he kind of big. How's he doing this? So once I got that down, it's kind of like, okay, look, you're gonna be you regardless, and you got to be okay with you. And of course, and one of the limbs is detachment and self love and self belief. And me getting into the yoga journey has helped me become not only a better coach but a better person. I've dealt with a lot of situations to where if it was my old self before the practice, I would be doing some time, or I'd have a lot more beefs. But one of the things I love about this is it's evolving. So as you grow, your practice grows, and you just kind of understand people are going to be people, but you can't let the people determine who you're going to be. You got to be who you are, despite or regardless of what they do to you.
Mm, that's all the snaps right there. You just said a word.
Snaps, all the snaps, all the snaps.
Man, so I wanted to circle back to something you had mentioned about when you first started and just, not really seeing yourself in the yoga space. And it's crazy how people don't realize how important representation is in all aspects of every bit of life, down to this yoga itself. Because I was the same. Like I got introduced to yoga in high school gym class by DVDs at that point. But I mean, I'm 36. I know, we had VHS, but we actually upgraded to DVD.
Yeah.
But it was nothing but a bunch of white women all up in this, you know, video classroom, and I'm just like, what the hell are we doing? I don't know what like, this is some weird shit. I'm here for the credit, whatever.
Right.
And it wasn't until, gosh, 2015, 2013 that I got into it in a more, in a way that actually made sense. So I graduated high school in 2004. To 2013 was when I actually finally was like, oh, I can do this. Because my mom invited me to a class. And I'm like, oh, so we do these things. Okay. And there were a couple Black people in that class. And I was just amazed because everything else I had seen about yoga, from that video in my gym class to sitcom stuff and, anything in the media, was always white people. And I'm like, that's cool and all. And I know this ain't theirs, but where are we at?
And And what I love about yoga and black is it's a platform for us to speak on our journeys, no matter how different they're intertwined. Everybody has a different story of why they got into it, but um, the representation was big for me. I got a buddy out in Santa Monica, and when I told him, he said, "Yeah, do that," because he's a runner, and he's in this. We're a little in the same boat.
Oh yeah.
He was one of my teammates. He's actually one of my best friends, and we ran together. And I said, "Hey, bro, I think I'm gonna do something different." And our favorite movie is Dope. And
Nice.
if you watch Dope, there's something that they call white people stuff. And I said, bro, we've been doing this our whole lives, but we put our own little flavor on it, and now it's something we want that people want to be a part of. So it's like I'm just gonna do the same thing, but the only difference is it's gonna be me. Like it's gonna be me being me, teaching, breathing, moving, posing, sequencing with my playlist or the music that I listen to. And I was telling somebody, I said, look, some of the best philosophers were trappers. I'm just gonna be honest. Like we can go toe to toe, but Jeezy has got me through more times than Spill. Not was it Shakespeare.
Yeah.
uh, Tupac has said some things that Kendrick has said some things that has resonated to me, and was like, "Yo, this matters. Like this is something that I can live off of, or this is something that I can do." So now you got that with the sequencing and the posing. So now you doing a double whammy, and people, Siri, why you always want to come in? Like you got something that people can relate to, but also that's helping them heal, helping them grow, helping them evolve. And once you see that, it's like, yo, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's refreshing every time I get to teach that people show up. Like one of the most humbling things you do is promoting, and nobody shows up. I had for the longest time I had one person showing up, and I'm gonna give him a shout out, CJ. I appreciate you more than you know. So when this comes out, I'm sending it to you. He showed up literally for like a month and a half straight. If it was
Mm.
just me and him for somebody else, he was there. And now him showing up has led him to be his best version. And it's like, it's been a domino effect. So it's like, once you understand that what you're doing is not only about yourself, it's about inspiring or motivating or putting people in the position to help themselves. That's when it's now like, yeah, I can't not do this. So it's not, this is supposed to be, this isn't work for me. This is like a passion project.
Yes. Man, shout out to all the CJs of the world because
Shout out to the CJ.
man,
Hey,
I got one myself. His name is David, and every Friday I can count on him to be there. He even came in because it's a corporate class, so it's only to that building specifically,
right.
and he comes in faithfully every Friday. Hasn't missed one, even on his birthday. He was off that day, and it was like, but I had to come in so I get my
I
class in. I'm like, damn it, you're gonna make me cry on your birthday, sir. What? But people like that are just so important to this because it's what it's all about. That's what it's all about for me. I have never cared about what I'm feeling about this. Well, I shouldn't say that, but it's not about me. Like, this is not anything boosting
it,
me up. It's how can I boost you?
and it's funny because when I tell people, they're like, "You teach yoga?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I showed them classes like my class, and like, "Oh, I'm definitely going." And
Yeah.
there's another lady I'm gonna shout out, Miss Anita. She brings in, and she comes because she's like, I need to get into it. My body feeling a certain way, and my joints is this. And her first class, like I love people's progression from their first class to like their fourth, sixth, seventh, eighth class, because now
Yes.
they're more stable, they're strong, they're holding the poses, they're breathing, they're glowing, and it's like I was a part of that process. Like in sports, it's different because but this is somebody that's changing their life and changing their aspect to the point where she's bringing her family, she's inviting her friends. So it's like you're making you're creating a space that people want to be a part of,
Man, like
and
that's
and
the
it's
highest form of
inspiring every
community.
time.
Yeah, because that is a highest form of praise is when you have somebody that comes to your class regularly and brings their friends.
Yeah.
Like that speaks volumes. And I'm like, shit, I'm grateful for everybody that comes to do and does that thing.
Oh,
Oh,
I one thing I will say, Fluent Nature has helped me in my practice, but my home gym, Power Training Center in Wally, Texas, the owner of that gym, I said, he when he told me, he said, "Yeah, man, I'm about to get this gym, this, and this. All right, so when you get it up, I can teach there, right?" He said, "Yeah, no problem, easy. I need," and he's a wrestling coach, for so it's a wrestling gym, it's a wrestling everything. So I'm got guys that's literally body slamming each other, trying to choke hold each other out, and then 10 minutes later, I got them in a comfortable, easy seat, breathing, meditating, like breathing through it. So all of last season, I had literally a spiral of literally 6A wrestlers coming to learn yoga. And what got me was one of the kids, he graduated, he sent me a DM and saying, "Hey, coach, you be proud of me. I went to my first yoga class without you." And I said, "Yeah, man, that's a big step." He said, "Nah, but thank you for this. I need this, and it's helping me out a lot to the point to where he brings his dad. Like if his dad could have come, he brings them. So it's like when you got like stuff like that is what keeps me fueled. Like, and again, when you got people who want to be in your space and who want to be in your practice, it's easy to show up. And it's because like, yeah, this whatever's going on is minute. Right now, I got people who feel me for me, and so it just makes everything worthwhile.
that's one of the best feelings, and just that's a big reason. I'm the same as you. I got into this for all of those same reasons of noticing how it was affecting me. Like, how can I help other people have this same feeling? Because if it's this good for me, it's got to be this good for somebody else too. It might not be this good for everybody, but at least I can be, some type of, representation of the fact that, hey, this shit works for us.
Oh well, and what's crazy is, um, we've gotten at Fluent Nature, we've gotten more men coming because they see my post or they see, oh, he's gonna be there or he's doing it. So it's got to be something cool. And I always say the joke like, hey, you ain't got to be perfect to do yoga. Just show up to your mat. And I said, this is a no ego self practice. The only competition is you. You do what the best that you can do. If you can do an inversion of something or a different, go for it. But there's no pressure on you doing that. This is a you practice. You're practicing for yourself. You're practicing to get better. You're practicing to evolve. So don't feel threatened. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel, oh, don't compare yourself to nobody but yourself. You're the only competition in any facet of your life, but definitely here in this class.
Yep. And even just that openness to embrace the different person you are every day. Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
one day you might be able to get upside down. The next day, the body's just like, hell no. And that's fine. But that's you getting to understand yourself and be in the moment. Because if you're too in your head about anything or wanting to do what you could do yesterday, that was yesterday.
Yeah,
That was yesterday. And ain't
yeah.
nothing wrong with that. But it's a practice in getting to know yourself, getting to understand and love yourself, respect who you are, just be in the moment and just move and flow from there. It's such a beautiful thing.
Oh, it's my biggest reward is them leaving refreshed. Them leaving that you see them coming in, they're coming in, they're sitting there, you don't know what's on their mind, and I kind of treat it like church. I go in, hey, how you doing? What's your name? I embrace everybody who comes in because that hello or that little could change their outlook. And I'm goofy, so I'm gonna try to make you smile and laugh and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're human, you good." Okay, okay, I see little two pieces in there matching up. I'm cracking jokes to lighten it up because certain classes or certain practices don't allow you to do that. And it's like, nah, scratch. Whatever you thought it is, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Like somebody was like, oh, what is your practice? I said, think of David Banner, Duke Deuce, and Tony Dungy had a yoga class. That's what it's like coming to me.
I'm very similar in that respect because just yesterday I had the blackest moment with another participant of the class. She came in, had these beautiful passion twists. I go up and introduce myself. I'm like, all right, you got to tell me where you got your hair from. And I'm like, I would have never had a conversation like that with anybody else but her. And that's what that's all about. Because if I had had that type of experience early on in my yoga introduction, I would have been so much more receptive to it. But
and I was telling my buddy, I said, I'm evolving, my practice is evolving. As I'm starting to love myself more, I can give more love out. So it's like you come in at the right time, you need it, but the exposure, the training, and everything else is all about you. You know, your personality is going to show, and it's going to show through your practice. It's going to show in the music selection. You know, I have a self care flow, and on that playlist, it's got literally array of different artists and songs, and I curated that way because certain songs may hit different for you than it hits for me, but it may hit different for them than it does for me. But you want to kind of pinpoint what makes you feel a certain way, and like keep your head up by Pop. It's like when you think about it, you listen to it. Oh, it's just a song. No, man, he's speaking about some things that as humans we go through and that we try to deflect, but we don't let it out, and we hold it we hold it in like it's a reward. It's like, no, you gotta let all of that go. Keep your head up. Keep pushing forward. Your best days are on the way.
As as much as I think I know about Tupac, I could swear there was something that I read. Wasn't he a practitioner of meditation?
He practiced a lot of different things, but he like again, he lived his own way.
Yeah.
He lived his own way,
Which is
and was okay with it. Like he wasn't scared about it, but he was okay with it.
Yeah, find the ways that work for you.
Yeah.
And then if you are so called, share it, spread it. That's exactly what he was doing. But yeah, he was very enlightened. So I'm like, he was definitely practicing something, but I couldn't remember
for
if it was
sure.
meditation or something else. Yeah. But yeah. As soon as you said something about playlists, I'm like, I don't think people understand how meticulous some of us yoga instructors can be about our playlists, because the music is just as important factor as the asana, as the philosophy, as anything else going on in the class. Like if you're adding music to it, oh man, that's important.
Well, and it's just in that flow is a song that people like. Oh, who is this? Like, where did this come from? And it's like, oh, that's from
I
such and
put
such
people
album.
on.
Yeah,
I
they'd be
love
like,
doing that.
oh,
I
I
make
need
playlists.
that.
They're like, their listeners like, what was that song that was playing when we were in this posture? I'm like, I mean, I'm gonna try to remember, but here's the playlist.
Yeah, well, and what's crazy is how I do it. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a health practitioner, but I like to turn up. I like to have a good time.
Exactly.
I like to live life, but my practice and I'm gonna walk in my practice more than I'm gonna talk about it. You know, I'm a gentleman. My mama and daddy always say, be a gentleman no matter what. You always leave people better than you left them. Then you found them. I'm sorry. So I go out and I kick it. I have fun. Hey, excuse me, man. My apologies. You know, I move around and shake like that. But when you hear certain songs, you know, it's just like it go through you feel a surge like, oh snap, I gotta get to this right here. Y'all didn't mess up now. Like you just like Dream versus Nightmares should be the new Black National Anthem. Just cause it's when it comes on, you hear the pianos and then he starts going and the beat change and it's like, oh, that's like
yeah.
It's just something about certain songs you hear. When you hear Drew Hill tell me you gonna get yourself in position, you gonna do the step.
Dance.
You gonna step with it, and so with that much power that music has, if your playlist is getting people in a state of um, not only movement but also thinking and processing information. So now they're like, oh snap! I remember. Oh wow! No, Warrior Two. Oh shit! I said, hey, if you feel it in your body, bob and weave with it. Move and shake with it. You ain't got to be stiff. That may be an extra stretch you get, but you want them to feel welcome and be like, oh, okay, this is live. Like, okay,
Yep.
I can do this. I can do this. I have a student. He's in high school, and we do, and this is gonna say, we do yoga to Lil Durk because
Ain't nothing
that's
wrong
who
with
he's
that.
comfortable with.
Exactly.
I said that's his practice. Somebody was like, oh, you should try. I said, look. That's your practice.
Right.
That's your practice. Don't.
Don't
His practice
impose
is
your stuff
different.
on him. Yeah.
Yeah, your practice is not his practice. He's a high school kid. He knows what it's for, but he's more likely to do more if he resonates. He's saying the lyrics in the poses, and it's like okay, he's understanding, and his practice is different. And what I've realized in this practice of yoga is you don't. Let me say these wise. Choose my words wisely. Just because it's not something that you approve of or you're used to, does not mean it's not the right practice or right way to go about it. And I told people how I was taught is how I'm gonna teach. How you were taught is how you gonna teach.
Yep.
I was taught, hey, you be yourself. You're gonna bring people to the practice. They're there to get something out of it, and you don't know what that something could be. They can go anywhere else to do a certain thing, but you're going to be unique to where people are going to come to you because you bring something that they can't get anywhere else. I've
Exactly.
been called motivational. I've been called inspiring. I've been called all these different things. And I just go, man, I'm just a normal human being. Like I'm literally, I got to go get gas after this. like, like
Like I
I'm
was
not a,
running on E trying to get here.
yeah, I was running on E trying to get her. I got to get gas when I get leave her. So it's just, as I evolve and as I like to say I like to dabble in certain people's classes because I want to learn from everybody I can, but certain people may not be for me or certain practice might, and that's okay. But the process of growing and learning and figuring out what is for you or not is the whole process. So you have to be okay with. I mean, I had somebody was saying, "Well, could you change the music?" And I said, "I appreciate you coming, but music is kind of what I do, and yeah, that's just kind of like my thing. That's just
Yeah,
that's how I get down.
because it's not only as far as like just music is concerned, it's not just about the participants. It's about you too, because they're coming to you to experience you along with the yoga. Like you could easily practice at home by yourself with a book, some pictures, a YouTube video, a VHS, whatever. But you've chosen to come to me. You are going to get the experience of me. And that boils down to the music too. I'll do
Yeah.
my best to curate something that works for, the majority, but nah, it's still very much laced with me all through this shit.
Oh, and being okay, being comfortable and be okay, that comes with the practice. I have a saying: self care isn't selfish; it's necessary. And it's kind of like, wait, I'm like, no, no, no. Think about it like this: you take care of your spouse, maybe your kids, your dog, everything else. When do you actually take time for yourself and recharge, refuel everything that you've been put out to the world? You need to be refueled a certain way. So you want to treat people, you want people to understand it's okay. Like, look, whatever's going on in the world for this 45 minutes to an hour does not matter. We're focusing on you. You are the cat. You are the main star. You're the star player. You're the one that needs to be focused on. And you'll just see people let loose and like just fully be engaged in the sequence and in the practice. And it's like Yeah, let go of that ego too. Let go of that ego too.
That's one of the biggest parts of it is letting go of the ego so that you can really just experience
Oh
things
yeah,
as they're happening. Because otherwise, the ego will either take you deep into the past or try to make it predict the future or just anywhere outside of where the moment is right then and there. Gotta let that go. Gotta let that go. Um, I wanted to pivot though because
go ahead.
this has come up a couple times. Do you teach any specifically or specific classes just for kids? Because I've heard that you have high school students.
I get it as they come to me. You know, my goal at some point is to have my own space, my own practice to where I can have a schedule. But, you know, me being a coach and me, I don't want to overextend myself with classes. And I kind of want to make it exclusive, like, oh, I'm only teaching these days and these days. But no, I love teaching to everybody. But so I really got my main thing about this yoga thing is I have two nephews. One is just turned 12, and one is about to be 14. And I see myself in them. I see the awkward build. I see the insecurities. I see all the things that I was, and I really just want to fill them up with so much confidence and love and things that they don't hear a lot. And then when I coach my students, my student athletes, I tell them, y'all the sons I don't have yet. So what I tell you, I'm doing this not only for my job, but I'm doing this out of love. And when I coach from a different space as well. Very rarely do I yell. My favorite coach uh, was and still is Tony Dungy, and he had a very quiet spirit about him, but he got his point across. I'm a new age version because I'm gonna yell and I'm gonna do what I need to do. But my thing is just like my thing about mistakes is they're gonna happen.
Yeah.
I can't chastise you about a mistake because that's inevitable. What we can do is go look. It happened. We got to learn from it. How are we going to improve from it?
Exactly.
So that's a yoga practice within itself, but it's in an athletic form, and that's a life lesson as well. So I love coaching and I love teaching because it's not you don't get the results now. You get the results when they graduate, when they're signing a letter of intent to go get their education paid for by a school, or when they're saying, "Hey, coach, I'm doing this now. I mean, when you told me I can do it, if I do, I can do whatever. If I put my mind to it and focus and did this and this, and it's kind of like, man, thank you. Like, thank you. That keeps me fueled more than anything. Yoga is just literally a segue or an addition to that because now, as an adult, we need that same affirmation, that same type of talk. But the kids are the icing on the cake because they're the future, and if we don't take care of them and pour them and water them, then we're not doing we're doing a disservice. You know, it's the saying that the OGs don't take care of the youngest, so they don't know the way. Well, I'm trying to be that OG that shows the kids the right way to come up to be gentlemen and be a certain way, carry yourself in a certain posture because I had figures who showed me how to do it. You know, my dad was in a frat, so all I seen were strong black males that were leaders, entrepreneurs. They carried themselves a certain way, and I had no choice but to follow suit. You know, I had no choice. So now I'm in a position where I have to do it a certain way, and I want to be able to carry a legacy to where it's like he was a coach, he was this, he was that, but he was a good person overall, and that's all it comes down to is being a good person. That's what my boys or anybody that I work with is like, hey, life is gonna happen, but you got to be able to take them as they come, and you know, as the chips fall, as the cards fold, you got to be able to roll with it and understand there's a purpose behind it.
Mm. You say so many powerful things. Like you had I can tell that you had a lot of really, really amazing people that supported you in life, and that is power. And you're able to send that power into other people. That's just really dope. Um, I don't know that like everything you were just talking about made me kind of emotional because it made me think of my brother and like just the things that y'all go through on a day to day basis as black men.
It's well that's a bigger part of it as well. I'm in the position I'm in. I'm kind of like an athletic admin, so a lot of my athletes are look like a younger version of me. So I'm a quote unquote sneakerhead, but I love shoes. So I wear a rotation of shoes, and like I said, I have my own brand. I wear my own stuff, and I wear shoes and stuff to let them know, look, I dress like this because I earned it. I had to earn to get here. On game day, on Tuesdays, the minimum is a polo and slacks. And they're like, Coach, why we gotta dress me? I said, sir, I gotta teach PE classes. I gotta be sweating and moving around. I don't have the luxury, and I don't have time to change. But when I talk to my parents, I say, look, they're gonna have to get ready for job interviews in the near future. So you can't wear a t-shirt and shorts, and you have to look professional. You have to look a certain way until you can work your way into wearing whatever you want if you're the owner of the company. But how you perceive matters. How you present yourself matters. And this is something my dad taught me at a young age. I hated him for it, but now it matters. People don't, you only get one time for a first impression. So when I teach like it's my first class, and I don't care if it's one person there. I'm teaching it like it's a room full of people, and guess what? Hey, it's me and you, but guess what? You about to get all this love I got to give. So it just I told somebody, I said, once you've been down and out, you never want to go back there. You never
Ever.
want to go back to that space. So it's like, if happiness, joy, love are options, why would I go back to something that made me feel terrible? Why would I result back to something that, especially when you're in a position, when you're blessed, you bless others.
Yep.
You bless others with your gifts. It may not be money, but it may be time. It may be some skills or tools that you have. And really, with this practice, that's all I really want to do is share what I've learned and the tools and put them in other people's toolbox so it can begin a ripple effect to share to others.
You're doing an amazing job. Keep it up because you're needed out here. Um, Tell me a little bit more about Dauntless Source. Is that your clothing line name or
So I've been going back and forth about it. It's really going to be an umbrella.
okay?
I'm working on an umbrella. So I got Dauntless Source. I just call it a name. If you don't notice, it's my initials. I made my initials on purpose because my dad, I'm named up. Me and my dad share the same initials. Both my brothers, both my nephews. So I wanted something that my nephews could wear, but I could wear and not be like super gaudy. But I want and the thing is, I say this all the time. I watch a lot of entrepreneurs and bet on themselves or put themselves out there. Master P, Nipsey, Ti, all these different entrepreneurs bet on themselves and they won. So it's like Lululemon, all these other brands, they're not going to come seek me because I'm not what they want. I'm not going to fit their mold. So I said, you know what? Let me create my. Actually, I saw something online about having your own line to create T-shirts, and the T-shirts just begin to turn into yoga gear. And I was like, how crazy would it be that I could create my own clothes with my own image and project everything I want out on the world? So now I'm spreading not only the brand. Oh, guess what? This is yoga, so it's a self-care, motivating brand that it's about to be a year old in a couple of days because I started. My first shirt was on my nephew's birthday, and then my website was on my niece's birthday. So that's how I remember my days, because those are the people that I want to be able to have something that we can fall back on, or have. I said it has to start now, and I want to work for myself. I want to be like the Aloes or the Lululemons or whatever. But I want it to be a black owned, black operated business, because if I get big enough, guess what? Hey, we don't need them. I got you. And guess what? It's done in such a way to where you're gonna do it because not only because I'm helping you out, but also I'm gonna give you a space. And, I got dreams of having, a nonprofit. That's really what it started from, was a nonprofit. And it just circulates. There's going to be a constant, way to generate awareness, to generate stuff, to do drives. I'm a coach, so I want to do football cleat drives or equipment drives, or help single moms who don't have the funds. Hey, there we go. We're gonna help that baby out, because sports was a big thing for me growing up. That was my carrot. If I didn't have sports, I would be I love sports because my dad played and both my older brothers played. I had cousins who played. So before everybody got old, we used to have a turkey bowl. So I got my uncle, God rest his soul. One year he played with a breathing machine on and his oxygen tank to the side. It was that serious.
Oh my God.
And so it's just something. And Dauntless Source was a brainchild for my parents. And they're the sweetest, most generous, authentic people that I know. And I wanted to showcase that to the world, that this is what we do. So the brand is really something I created with my yoga practice, and they go hand in hand. But it's bigger than, in my mind, it's going to be bigger than what it is now. But I'm taking the steps to let it go organically, and I don't want to rush it. I want it to be placed in certain places to where it grows and it flourishes for the long haul, not just, oh, it's hot for a year and it's like, nah, I want it to be. So if you ever see me wearing something with a DS or a B Dauntless, that's all because it's something I created literally because I want to help, and it's strength in numbers. So whenever you buy a piece of clothing, just know it's going to help others. We're going to do a drive. Guess what? Part of that is going to go buy toiletries and food and for others. I've literally used that money for help other people. Hey, you need what? I bet. Here, what's your Venmo, Cash App? I bet. Let me make sure I get that so I can get that to you, and be able to give back a certain way without having to, make people go, oh, this. No, like we got you. So it's a. I probably gave more than I should have, but you can't copy what I got, because you ain't got the heart I'm gonna give. So it's one of those deals where, yeah, it's a clothing line, but it's a yoga practice. It's gonna be a nonprofit soon. It's gonna be a whole movement that I just want to show that we're more than what they perceive us to be. We really got big hearts, and we want the world to heal, but I got to do it my own way to where I see it. And it was just kind of, it literally started from, all right, I'm going to do this. Oh, crap, I'm going to do this. You know what? I can do this as well. You know what? Forget it. We're going to do everything. We're going to do everything we can. I want to have a golf tournament. I want to have a yoga retreat. I want to have a health festival. I want to have something where we can collaborate with everybody, and everybody wins, and everybody serves their purpose. So I know that was an extended answer, but it's just something that I'm very passionate about, and I know it's going to take time for it to grow, but I'm willing to take that time and practice and get people on that understand this is for real. Like this is me all day, every day. Whatever you may see on Instagram is only a picture or a video, but yeah, I'm trying to spread love and these these limbs and this practice to everybody, my unique way, so that stuff can change. There's already a lot of people, exploiting or doing things in a negative light. I want to be that beacon of light or hope to people that maybe not know, or maybe didn't know it was an option. So you just want to try to do things a certain way to not only help others but help yourself. Like I said, I was always taught it's better to give than receive. Well, I've been blessed with so much. I have to give this to some other people that don't have what I have, or don't have the opportunity. Like, I want to be able to give out scholarships. You want to teach? Bet I got you. Like, let's here's a little beast to start you off. So it's really an avenue to give, and to show others that it's okay to give. It's okay to be different. It's okay to have a good heart. Like, you don't have to live how they want you to live. So that's just kind of what Dauntless Source means to me, and it's a legacy. It's something that I want to leave the world better than I came into
So, yeah, we have a lot of stuff in common, because a lot of the things you mentioned for Dauntless Source are a lot of the same things I've thought of for this platform here too. Because for a little while we were hosting classes, and had to put that on hold because a lot was going on in my life. But I've always had so many different visions for this whole thing. And that's including working with, folks like you that have, other platforms as well, to give everybody an opportunity to do what they do, shine their light, and affect change in everybody. Because just like you said, I want to leave this world better than I entered it. Gotta do something. But that's awesome. We'll definitely be in contact. I'm
it.
able to figure out how all of that is gonna work, but that's definitely on my radar, because I
In
want to
due
have a
time.
festival so bad. I want to have a festival.
Oh, well, and I reached out to somebody, and I was just like, you know what? I know quite a few people, and I feel like in the DFW, there's enough people, there's enough instructors, there's enough spaces that where we could create something that people want to come, just like they have in LA, they have in Atlanta. We have everything we need, but not only does it have to be organized, the egos have to be taken away from it, and it has to be about the purpose. That it has to be about the purpose of the event.
Yep, that part. That part. But in due time. In
Oh, for sure.
due
And
time,
even
for
if it's
sure.
small, so
Yes.
even if it could just be, hey, Tyranny, you wanna help us out with this? You wanna, like, my thing is, it's all about collaboration. Down the Source and Flow in Nature are literally a collaboration. So guess what? Not only are you helping my brand, I'm helping your brand. We're both pumping each other. Strength in numbers. Now they know us together. Guess what? That's what other people do.
That's what this is all about.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. When I told my director what I was doing, she was like, "Okay." I said, "But I want to make sure I got the right verbiage, so I put us in the right light." And she was like, "That's why I love." I said, "No, I respect you because, again, you let me express myself and do things in a certain way. That's how I can give back to you and to us. Because if I win, y'all gonna win, and vice versa. But if I got a chance, I'm gonna promote everybody. I'm gonna promote everybody I can, because when I was as I've and maybe it's because I'm getting older, but as you start receiving things out of nowhere, you like, where did that come from? But my dad always said, I believe opportunity presents itself when everything has been taken care of on the front end. So at some point, I was doing something to get me to where I am, and I didn't realize it. Well, when you got people who pour into you and who care and who appreciate and love up on you, hey man, hey, you want a piece of this pie? You want a piece of this? I feel like there's enough piece of the pie for everybody to enjoy it, live fruitfully, and live genuinely, authentically. And I want to help that cycle continue.
That's what's up. Man, Dulani, this has been awesome. We're getting close to the end of our time together, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to let the people know where they can find and experience your classes.
All right. So I'm at a few places, but mostly I'm at Power Training Center every Sunday, 5 p.m. It is in Wiley, Texas. Instagram is at beast_vision. That's my personal. My business is Dauntless Source. You can also catch me in Flow in Nature. Flow, that Instagram is Flow in Nature DTX. That's all I remember. Just look up Flow in Nature DTX. I don't want to send you the wrong one. Purple and blue font, Dallas backline. But yeah, just follow those two accounts. I post regularly. I'm very active in the city. You'll see me doing pop-ups. Look out for pop-ups coming soon as well, because I know us. We love a good pop-up. So I'm bringing that good culture to this space and this practice. But yeah, just follow, like, share. A share goes a long way. I'm following Tierney. I love her sharing, so I just started sharing people I know. Like, oh yeah, go to their class. You going? And I gotta do something, but I'm still gonna share because that's helping them out. But yeah, at Beast Vision, at Dauntless Source. No numbers or nothing. I was the first one to get it, so I use it. I want to thank Tyranny and Yoga and Black DFW for having this platform for Black creators, Black health practitioners, yoga instructors. I mean, it's a blessing. It's an opportunity to share our passion. So we want to, give you your flowers as well. While you giving us yours, I'm gonna give them to you right back to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No. It's beautiful to see somebody wanting to share other people's story and understand there's a reason behind it. So that's a huge step, not only in leadership but in love. Like, that's major, because I watched them and I'm like, okay, she on to something, and experiencing it and being a part of it now, it's like I'm more of a fan than I was before. So yeah, we will definitely be in touch on some things, just because we got to get rocking and rolling and make this world a better place.
Hell yes. Well, Dulani, thank you so much for your time. For those of you listening or watching, we'll be back for one final episode. After that, we're taking a little break, and I'll let you know when season 2 comes. But have a great rest of your day, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Yoga in Black podcast. Next week will be our season finale with Renee Lucas. Every Tuesday, we're airing a new episode, so be sure to check back in next week on Spotify or check us out on YouTube. You can find us at www.yogainblack.net or the Yoga in Black podcast on YouTube or on Instagram at yoga.inblack. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.